What's going on, everyone? So the Sacramento Kings are looking for playmakers, somebody that can kind of initiate, run the offense. Right? They have several guys that can be scorers and bucket getters and all that stuff. They brought in Dennis Schroeder. There's a lot of talks about them potentially looking to bring in Russell Westbrook, but they want to trade like a Malik Monk and get off of various contracts and guys. The Sacramento Kings have a lot that they're trying to work out on. They're also trying to pull off a deal to get Jonathan Kuminga. They are kind of in the front of that race to get Jonathan Kuminga, whatever ends up happening with the Warriors and what they decide to do. But Sports Illustrated, many of you are familiar with Sports Illustrated, proposed an idea. And I don't hate it. Like I do think it's an intriguing kind of trade for Sacramento and the Lakers. I wouldn't do it personally. I think many of you might be willing to do it, but I wanted to talk about it. So, according to Sports Illustrated, the trade is Keegan Murray along with a 2027 first, which could have a ton of value, especially if it's unprotected. I don't think Sacramento is going to be very good this year, but Keegan Murray plus a 2027 first round pick for Austin Reaves. Now, I'm not against trading Austin Reaves at all. I mean, many of you are familiar with this channel. You know I am all for trading Austin Reaves for the right trade for the right price. Right? If Keegan Murray was like a rising two-way guy, I'd be all over it. Or if you were talking, like a Keon Ellis, right? I'd rather them keep the first and get Keon Ellis in the deal and maybe give up another play. Here, take Gabe Benson or something, or a Maxi Kleba or something, just to give you some shooting and give us, that. I'd rather go that route where we get a Keon Ellis and a Keegan Murray for Austin Reaves, especially if Sacramento really values Austin Reaves as Keegan Murray in a first, at a 2027 first, that could be really good, right? Then I'd rather just give up Keon Ellis, and then there we go. Now we're in business. Now you got two 25-year-old guys for one 25-year-old guy, especially if they're that high on Austin Reaves. So again, I'm not against trading Austin Reaves. I just think Austin Reaves is the Lakers' best asset, right? As far as like trade value and all those things. I know a lot of people think it's funny because there's two sides to Austin Reaves, like fan-wise. People either think he's like the second coming of Michael Jordan and is just like a LeBron James retirement away from really being the best player in all of basketball, or they think he's absolutely trash and doesn't belong in the league and we need to sell him for a bag of chips. I think it's in the middle. I don't think he's the second coming of Michael Jordan. I don't think he's trash. I think he's a very good basketball player that, I just don't think he's worth the 40, 50 million that they might end up having to give him. I think, if you can get a good return for him, though, you should trade him. I don't think anybody's untouchable. The only guy that's on the Lakers that is truly untouchable is Luka. Now, outside of Luka, LeBron, if tomorrow the Milwaukee Bucks called and were like, hey, we'll trade you Giannis for LeBron, and LeBron was like, yeah, sure, right? Because he has to waive his no trade clause. I would do that immediately, right? So it's not even just like an Austin Reaves thing. But I just think if you're going to trade Austin Reaves, you really need to maximize what you're getting in return, which you could argue that give the Lakers 2 firsts now, right? Plus Keegan Murray. I mean, you could use Keegan Murray in a trade package to go and make another move. You'd also clear $3 million off your books, which I also think is interesting, right? So one, it depends on how protected that first is. There aren't any specifications on if there's any protections or anything like that. It's just the 2027 first. And then it talks about how it makes sense for both sides, because Sacramento needs a playmaker. They need somebody that can run and stabilize their defense. Also gives them somebody that can, basically be a foundation piece for the foreseeable future for that team, right? There's a lot of positives to Austin Reaves going to Sacramento, which I fully get. Sacramento probably would give him the max money, but he'd probably make more money with Sacramento than he would with the Lakers, right? And for the Lakers side of things, it does a couple things. One, it'd clear about $3 million off your books, so you could actually fill that 15th roster spot if you wanted to bring in another guy. So you wouldn't. So technically, you would be trading Austin Reaves for Keegan Murray, who's making $11.1 million, who's also going into restricted free agency, which you wouldn't have to pay as much as you'd have to pay Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves is going to cost more than Keegan Murray. So you'd save money You'd get a first round pick in the deal. You'd free up cap space to bring in another guy. So let's say a Malik Beasley. So would you trade Austin Reaves for Malik Beasley, Keegan Murray, and a first round pick? Some of you might be thinking absolutely. Some of you might be thinking absolutely not. I wouldn't hate it if tomorrow we got news that the Lakers traded Austin Reaves for Keegan Murray and a first. I wouldn't hate it. I just don't think it's the best allocation of your assets for a team that is very limited in assets, right? That, not saying you have to trade Austin Reaves for a Giannis or a Jokic or anything like that necessarily, but I just think if you're going to trade him, you either need to get an ideal fit slotted alongside Luke. Like, I would rather Keegan Ellis and a first. Like, if they were willing to do Keon Ellis in a first, I'd be all over that. Because Keon Ellis is the exact type of player you want slotted alongside Luka Doncic. And you get a first round pick on top of it. Then now you could package those two first plus you still have $40 million in expiring contracts. Now you have 2 first, 4 pick swaps, and a second round pick that you can now package to go make other moves to really push your chips in and go for it. Keon Ellis is young enough to where he could be a foundation piece from now in the future. Keegan Murray and Keon Ellis are both young enough, right? Keegan Murray will be 26 in about 2 weeks, right? Almost closer to 3 weeks, right? August 19th. So, he just turned 25. I'm sorry, we're in September. I'm thinking September 19th, August 19th. So he actually just turned 25. Correction, right? Keon Ellis, again, is 25. So, to me, I'd rather tell them just keep your first and give us Ellis, right? If you could do Keegan Murray and Keon Ellis for Austin Reaves, probably do that. Because Keegan Murray is a guy that could slot into either forward position, gives you some three-point shooting, gives you a guy alongside. It also would give you kind of Rui Hachimura insurance, right? So Keegan Murray is a guy that you can now easily and comfortably go and trade Rui Hachimura, and I think would be okay because you can slot Keegan Murray off the bench. He also had a better defense, right? He's a 116.6. So the last 3 seasons, defensive rating wise. Now, defensive rating doesn't tell you everything, but it kind of gives you an idea. 116.7, 115.6, and then 117.4. So he's a better defender. He's not a great defender. Not like clamps or lockdown. But talk about a guy that's 6'8", right? Got good size. Slot into either forward spot for you. He's kind of more of a 4 than he is a 5. He's another Rui Hachimura, right? A guy that, like I said, 6'8", I think he has like a 6'11", 7-foot wingspan. So he's got the size, the length, the versatility, can shoot the 3 ball, play on ball, play off ball, score a little bit. Last year, just on the surface, averaged 12.5 points, 7 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and then 44.4% from the floor. So again, just gives you another sizable, versatile forward that can slot in, do multiple things out there for you out on the basketball court, and you're getting a first in the deal. It's not the worst package. Again, I think it's actually pretty fair. I think you're better off waiting for a team because there's going to be a team that gets desperate. There's going to be a team. There's several teams now that could use a playmaker. There are several teams now that could use Austin Reaves badly. And I think you're better off waiting for one of those teams to emerge and go, man, we really need a playmaker, and end up selling the farm for an Austin Reaves. Right? Or you end up, being patient, and then next offseason, a Giannis wants to come, or a Jokic wants to come, and then you go and sign a trade, or maybe another star becomes available. I mean, every few months there's a new star available that wants to go somewhere, and now you got Luka Doncic. It's like, oh, LeBron might be leaving next thing, right? So you might get somebody that's like, hey, sign me up. I'll gladly do this. So to me, I just think the Lakers are better off staying patient and staying the course than doing this trade, unless you were able to work out another trade. Like if it was like a 3-team trade to get some other pieces that you need, right? Like let's say you traded Austin Reaves, right, to Sacramento, and then you had, the 2 firsts plus Keegan Murray, and you went, and then whatever else, Rui Hachimura, maybe throw in Rui or something like that, and you went and got like a Trey Murphy or something, right? It's like, hey, here's 2 young wings, and then 2 firsts, and now you got a Trey Murphy, right? Or a Herb Jones or something like that later on down the line. I know Herb can't be traded right now, but if you could do something like that, then I'd be on board, right? Or if you could go get somebody that just makes more sense long term, I would do that. Or, go get a Miles Bridges or something like that, right? Like if you could basically turn, like say, Charlotte's like, hey, we don't have a need for, why would we want Austin Reaves? We have 15 guards, right? Like, so if you were like, okay, well, you could turn Austin Reaves into a package to then get that return, take that return, and then go make that trade for a guy like, a Miles Bridges or something, then yes, sign me up. I'd be all for it. But just like on the problem is like, I don't think Keegan Murray is a guy that you're starting, right, on this Lakers team, especially with LeBron. Like if LeBron wasn't here, maybe, but then I'd probably go with Rui Hachimura if I'm being honest. If I could just slide Rui to the 4, right? So like even then, I just think Keegan Murray just gives you another Rui Hachimura who might end up being cheaper, yes, but like and yes, you could get off of Rui Hachimura. I don't think he's a need. Right? Like if you're going to trade Austin Reaves, it needs to be for a need. If it was Keon Ellis, I'm there all day. Sign me up because he solves a need. Right? He's the ideal guy that you could slot in at the 2 guard and go Luka, Keon, Rui Hach. Or now you have that first. I would go and get Andrew Wiggins. Right? Imagine a starting 5 of Luka Doncic, Keon Ellis, Andrew Wiggins, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton. Give us the chip now. Right? The only thing that in our way is health at that point. Right? We're hoisting the Larry O'Brien almost certainly. But like I said, Keon Ellis isn't bad. Last season, 76 games. He's a guy that plays. That's the key. Best ability is availability. The fewest games he's ever played in a season was last season, and that was 76 games. It's a good sign. 76 games, 77, 80. 34.3 minutes per game, 10.8 field goal attempts per game. From 3-point range, shot 34.3%, which was actually the lowest of his career. His career, 37.2%. His rookie season, he shot 41.1% on 6.3 attempts. Can he get back to that? That would be amazing. But 2-point range on 5 attempts, shot 56.6%, so good. EFG of 53.8%, which again was the lowest of his career. Free throw shooting. Only averages about 1 a game. He was 83.3%, grabbed 6.7 rebounds, 1.5 assists, a steal, a block, and 12.4 points per game. So again, not a bad guy. His points are down from last season, where he also basically took 2 more attempts per game. So that's kind of the difference. But I don't hate it. It's just not my favorite. It's not something I like run to the door for, if I'm being honest. If, again, give me Keon Ellis in a first. Here you go. I will gladly, I'll help Austin Peck and go make that happen. Just because, again, Keon Ellis is the exact type of guy you want slotted alongside that can do the dirty work, make the hustle plays, do all those things. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.